Hey, folks. Yep, I said I'd come on here first thing in the morning, and it is first thing in the morning. Uh, I mentioned something last night about NATO. NATO doesn't have any jurisdiction over election interference. However, however, and I think this is what folks were making reference to. NATO, because NATO is a collection of countries, right? North Atlantic Treaty Organization. It's the acronym. It's an acronym for the you younger folks out there. And the reason I always say for you younger folks, because I do realize, I remember when I was young, especially early 20s, I wasn't paying attention to all this stuff that's going on. And so for all us older folk, we have to remember that this is why we're in the position that we're in right now. Okay. We have to understand that most people don't pay attention to what's going on. Most people are concerned about putting food in their mouths. When I say that, surviving. Other than that, they don't know that senator over there, that House of Representative over there, that state representative over there, that mayor over there, they may know about what the dog catcher does. That's the extent of their lives. Okay? So that's why I always say that. So NATO is a collection, North Atlantic, right? So it's a collection of those countries that North Atlantic meaning Atlantic Ocean. Okay? All right. So one thing that they can do is if it's been proven that there has been interference in any of these countries. That's why I'm specifically talking about NATO, because someone made reference to that. If it has been proven that any of these countries their elections have been tampered with, then those countries can then, particularly it says it in Article 5 of their treaty. You can go look it up. It actually states specifically about cyber interference, cyber, okay, hacking, that type stuff. And so that's what I think folks were talking about. One person, they sent me to a person that said that he saw or no, and in fact he flashed it on the screen. I couldn't see it fast enough. And folks know who I'm talking about, who sent me there, that's got all this script that's actually over top of his screen, he's talking, but all the script is right there with all these different bullet points, I guess, that he's talking about. And then he flashed it, a NATO airplane landed in California. So you know me. First thing, I told you I had to sleep on it. So first thing I did, when I woke up, got my phone, and I looked up NATO aircraft. Most NATO aircraft, again, North Atlantic Treaty, are fighter jets. Fighter jets. And so what he flashed on the screen, I'm not disputing anything that gentleman said. I'm just saying that I had to do my own homework. That's what I told you I had to do, because I don't put information on here that I don't know what I'm talking about. But from what I found, there's only one, and this is what I typed in so you know. Does NATO have an official aircraft that officials of NATO fly around on? No. The only one that they have is a large, almost like a cargo aircraft. Just one of these that, where the nose kind of lifts up and you can put vehicles in, that type of deal like the military has. NATO, right? North Atlantic. So they have the capability, but that's it. And so why the one that he showed, I don't know if it was that one, but why is that going to California? I can only suspect maybe because of the fires. Okay. So I don't know where all that tied in. So I wanted to just put that one aside. What I mentioned last night about Jack Smith resigning I think that has more import than anything that has to do with NATO. Now, does that mean that NATO, they're sharing information? Remember that article? Not remember, but the article says that if anything nefarious has gone on with your election, then that country, if they have their own intelligence, then they can share that with the other country that was involved. Is that possible? Of course it's impossible. Of course it's impossible. Of course it's possible. Okay? But of course I looked in, can it have anything to, this is another thing. And this is nothing that it is something that I saw. Does the president of the United States be charged for crimes against humanity? Because I've seen that floating around. And they say, pretty much blanket statement, no. Because folks were relating that to his irresponsibility with COVID. You remember all that? You can drink bleach and all that. See, remember all that? Okay. That's the kind of stuff we may have to deal with. It made my pressure go up. And I take my pressure every morning. Anywho, he would have to be directly, not because he did anything morally wrong, like that was morally wrong on his part, but that's not criminal. Okay, even though we would say that's criminal. People died in this country because of his irresponsibility. We'll have a whole talk about that too, by the way, because that hit me home directly. So, okay, that involved The Hague at that point. So this is where I'm going to tie in. Jack Smith. So Jack Smith. That's why he joked him the other day when he found out that Jack Smith resigned. He joked him and said, he's going back to The Hague or whatever. Well, he needs to be careful with that, okay? Because now, if he's back at The Hague, right, where he was the man, you don't know what that guy can pull up on. Diaper pants. We could only imagine. So Jack Smith, in my opinion, he's not done with him. Now, what I said in the video last night, him resigning, why would he resign? For folks that missed that video, in my opinion, of course I don't know. By the way, this video is for education and information purposes only. Even though TikTok may go away, I still have to say it because I want folks to see this video. Him resigning early. This is what I think. He may have done that as a precautionary measure in the event that the DOJ does not release that report, particularly about January 6th, if that's all that can come out, because apparently it's partial, it won't have anything to do with the classified case, even though that's what he would like, because remember, he was overseeing that also. That was part of his jurisdiction also. Then he's setting it up, in my opinion, I don't know, for that information, the report, to be leaked. So what is this? Monday, the 13th. This week, folks, is pivotal. Does that mean that January 19th, the day that Diaper Pants wants to throw his rally before he has a ceremony that I don't think is going to happen for him, can it happen on the 19th? Absolutely. I don't know. I don't know, folks. So please don't come slamming at me, even if we move over to YouTube. I'm never going to listen to you again, Solo, because you said, don't do that. Because I'm only this is my opinion on what I think how things could go down based on what I'm seeing, what I'm hearing, my own research, my own due diligence, even me going to DC, even that mission that I went on. I think things are going to start coming up, rolling out this week, including the report. I think they're going to release it. And I'm thinking Jack Smith resigned so he could move aside. Okay, move aside and let it come out or be leaked. And if it's leaked, I'm gonna edit. I'm gonna say it now. That's gonna force me to do this. So I'm gonna put a shot above me. Okay, I'm just said it. That's gonna make me do it. Do you see that up there? Do you know how many people? These are just the ones that were convicted, including him. That report come out. That's why I'm saying I don't believe that he is going to take the oath on the 20th. That's why they're trying to stop that. That's why his sycophant down the judge, that sycophant, the woman, not to say that in a derogatory way, my beautiful women out there, but that woman judge down there that's looking out for that dude, that's why she's doing that, because she knows. He knows. That report come out, it's just going to everything's just going to come together then. So for whatever the folks are already planning to stop him, that's just going to add more information to the folks that voted for him and now FAN and FNOing that, oh snap, that person's involved. That person's involved. That person over there, that senator told me that this was, that House of Representative told me that this is what they promised. This video is for education and information purposes only. I'll see you guys in another video. Take care of yourselves.